Good afternoon. I welcome you to this section of update and to know where we are in this trade and what has happened in the last 5 days or 1 week. So we're going to take it, and I don't need to go to what we've been doing, but focus more on the current chart and price actions that we are seeing. That for 4 weeks we've actually gained momentum to the downside, the first, the second, the third, when we saw a correction here, and the fourth week. Now, the fifth week, we can see that it was a bullish move that we saw the whole of that week. The price more or less had corrected to the upside. Now, in this kind of a movement, the movement so far from here to down to this point does not look impulsive on the weekly chart. Does not look impulsive at all, and the way the correction had gone, so which still tells me that we are correcting the entire move from here to here. We are correcting it, and how deep are we going to correct? It's really not what you can predict, but you have to watch the price action, you have to watch the price movement and the breakout structures and the kind of structures that we are seeing before we can tell that this is where this price is going to go. Like I did say, I expect a minimum of 50% of this entire correction before we can see, a movement to the upside again. So which we now take this one as A on the weekly time frame, a B and a C. Is it going to still be like that? Yeah, that is my honest view. That is the strongest possibility from what we can see so far. But again, we are going to follow the price axis, moving down, navigating. But for now, we are seeing this correction. What next? What are we going to see in this coming week? Is it that we are still going to correct up? Because this is a correction. Like I told us, we're expecting a correction. Inside this correction, we're expecting a correction that is not going to go deep up before we move further down to where we think price may engage before completing a B structure before going to do a C. Now, it's difficult to tell what the price is going to do, but I want us to go inside of the daily and the daily as well as the 4 hourly to try and see what the price is doing, what the structure is and what the price is doing, to know the likelihood of direction and at what point things can probably give. Now, but from these, if this one closed like this, it's telling us that this is more or less a correction to the upside, which may break structure or not, okay? Which may break structure or not. Now, in our correction of this to the upside, you can see this move to the upside. There are levels that you don't want the price to break to the upside. If price should break this particular level where you see this, the wick of the candle, if price should break this, it's most likely price may be going back up to break the structure and continue to move up. It's most likely price might want to do that. So you must know. And that's on the weekly. If I bring something out again, let me just bring something out to tell you what I'm trying to say, to show you. Let's bring this out. Now, this is what we're trying to say. Now. Okay. So this is the structure of price that we don't want to break right on top of this bullish doji, that place. Let me use black. That is where we don't want price to break. If price should break here, then something else is happening, okay? I want you to watch what I'm trying to do. It's important. So let's see, this is the height so far where the price began to fall. And this is the recent low, okay? So now, if price should break this structure above, because there's a clear rejection here, then something may give. So let's see what we are saying. If price should retrace all that to the upside, it means price is trying to break above, 50. So which tells you that it's a new structure, which is like a structure of probably trying to make a B wave in this correction. So you must know that. So, and ultimately, if that begins to happen, if it's going to be a B wave, then we don't want price to break certain structure, to break beyond this area of 76. If price should go beyond that area of 76, then, in fact, there is nothing that you are waiting for when price begins to, if price should break here, that means we are going to see a structure of a B before we further go to the downside, or that we are going to entirely move. And that's how, in managing our trade, we must know what the structure is telling us below it, before we probably exit the trade or enter. Let's go to the daily to see something again. Now, this is what the weekly had given us at this level. This is where we don't want price to break now at this level. So you can see that level is a level of strong rejection here. It's a resistance here and a support here. And you can see it's also a support here and a support here. On the weekly, it's a strong area for us on the weekly. It's a strong area for us on the weekly. And if I may go to another our previous yeah. So now, not this one. I think it's this one. Yeah, this one is this one. Yeah, this one. So you can see that that level is up here. Where we see this, that's the level up here, which we don't want to break. This is the daily. If I switch again to the weekly here, that is that level that we don't want to break. So let's use something for it. Let me use a yellow for it. Let me use a yellow for it now. Yes, a yellow for it. So that's the level you don't want to break on the weekly. On the weekly, we don't want to break that level on the weekly. So if we go down to the daily, so that's the yellow area that we don't want to break. So if you should break up above here, then you should know that price is doing something else. So now, how do we engage this? Because price made a move of A, and we thought this is a B, and that we expect to see a C, and a C was not taken before we saw this reaction. If it's going to be a C was not taken before at least a C should get to this point. A C should get to this point, at least this point, about how many pips down there from this level? About 100 pips. So down there to complete A, B, and a C, which we are seeing a reaction here. So this reaction now, could this now be the entire movement here, down here? Could it be a new wave where this one is a 1 and a 2? Could it be? But because it's correction, so we might be seeing a triad. If we are going to see it as a triad, so this might just be inside of this old correction that is coming down, we might now see this as a wave A, B, and a C to the downside. You may see that as a wave A, B, and a C to complete the one here. But ordinarily, because it's like, you know, a correction of the entire bullish move, so we expect this to run like, if this is A, which is 5-wave structure, and this one is a B, which is a flat, and this should run in a 5-wave structure. So, but this is not what we are seeing at the moment. This is not running as a 5-wave structure, and at the moment, it's looking more like movement from here to this point. We can regard that as an A move, which is all wave 1. We can regard this as wave 1, and this is A of wave 2, a B of wave 2, and a C of wave 2. So wave 2, because the way it's correcting down, it's really, you know, messy somehow. So it's messy, and we need to see a wave 3, but that is not what we are seeing. Okay, permit me to do something now for us to really understand what I'm trying to say. I'm saying that after this move to the downside, this one is like a wave 1, and this one of 2 is, let's say, can it be A? If it is A, the B, let's see, if it's a B, this has gone beyond what a B should be. That is what we are saying. That's gone beyond what a B should be, because a B should have stalled around this area. Price went past it. Except we are saying that there is an elongation of a particular wave here. But if it's going to even get elongated, it's still, you know, it's still like something that has gone beyond its expected move. But let's just assume something. I'm not calling this as what is happening. I'm not calling it at all. I'm not calling it. Let's just assume that we are still within wave 2. And so let this one be A on this block. Let's assume that. I'm not calling it though. Let's assume that this is a B. These are things that gimmicks and what they do. So this is analysis. let's say this is a B, and we want to see a C. This is daily time frame, because stuff like this, you just mess it up and you won't get it on the lower time frame now. So if this from here to here is A, and from here to here is a B, so, and it has gone like an extension of 161.8. This return leg can only be nothing but an extended flat in the making. So, and if it's going to be an extended flat, it means that what we should expect a 123 extension from here. So if you're going to expect a 123 extension from here, from that A to where this has ended, it means that the price should not go beyond the price should not go beyond here. So the price should not go beyond here. This is where we should expect that extension. It shouldn't go beyond that place. So it shouldn't go beyond that place for that extension to form a C. So a break of price above 1.075 200 tells us that we are breaking the structure again to the upside. That is how we can look at it, and it cannot be more than that. So anything more than here, which is 7,500, let me use 0.7500, is out of it. So price should not be seen climbing above that. Talk less of this. So if you are here and price should break here, wait for a correction to the downside, get out of your sell, and let's see how far this one can go. That's how to look at it. But we're going to still see the internal structure of what we are seeing. We are taking this on the daily time frame. If you look at the manner of the candle here, you know, it's still not telling us anything. It's still not telling us anything. But we are going to do a couple of, analysis to see what we should expect, really, from here, what exactly is going on. We are going to do a couple of analysis for us to get to that, okay? Now, the first thing we are going to do, seeing this move now, the first thing we are going to do, okay, let me see if this C level will still mark up from here and treat all the move as part of one here, because now it would have probably shifted. If this one is now a wave one, probably that will shift it to this point and still make this one part of two. So in that case, we might be seeing a part of two from this yellow to this black to where it's proposed as the last place as about 76.5, 76.4, of 1 to 2, which is still possible, okay? That is still possible. It will still agree if 2 gets to this point. So we have to watch what we are seeing around this area. Now, if we go inside of the 4 hourly now, if we go inside of the 4 hourly, one thing I want to do inside of this 4 hourly is let's see. Now, what we want to do inside of this 4 hourly, let me quickly turn back to the daily. Let's pick the low of the wave so far, the low of this wave so far, and connect them and project. Picking the low, which is from here, and connect to the low here, which is the lowest around this area. Let me use purple. Okay, so that's the low there. So able to project what price may do. If a structure is broken or not, that may help us to define what price wants to do on this time frame. Since we are seeing a movement like a major, correction to the upside now, that looks like that. So we're going to clone this to see what price is going to do above here. So we can see that these are from, like, at this point, a resistance, and also price had engaged this area as a resistance. So within this channel, so we are seeing a support on this channel here, one support, and the second support, and the first resistance and the second resistance. So now where you begin to suspect that something is going to happen is if this does not hold as a support at this level. If it does not hold as a support and it breaks above it, then the next reasonable destination will be around this area that you want to execute. You want to think of, if you get a price here to sell, you want to sell. Otherwise, price may still go a bit up, and if more structure is broken upside, you want to get out. You want to get out even before you get to that point. So this is what we are saying now. So we are marking all of that level. Now, another thing I want us to mark also is to see what price is doing within this messy correction below it. So let's take this. From this low here to the low here, this is the low I want to take. This is a new thing we want to use to guide this price. From that low, so let me use golden yellow for that. So we are going to clone that and take it up and see what price is going to do in the immediate move that we are seeing here. Let's take it to this level, because that is what the price had done now. So that is the peak so far. So we want to see what price is going to do. Is it going to respect this long channel or this immediate channel? So we are going to have a closer look at that. We're going to have a closer look at that. So let's turn to the 4 hourly, because all this thing looks messed up, really. Now let's stop within 4 hourly now. Now within 4 hourly, okay, I need to fine tune this. Good. So we need to fine tune this within 4 hourly. Now, this looks pretty solid now. So we want to see what price is trying to do here. So we are trying to fine tune. We want to see what price is going to do. So after this correction, of course, which I explained the last week, and this move of 1, and that this could be A, and this B could have probably, because it's actually a correction to the downside. And even if you are going to look at this, between these entire one structure that we call a one structure This is a flat in between here. This is A and a B and a C. And after that C, we add a run to the downside here. So that was what we emphasized. But now we can see that the entire things are done like an extension here, which will still regard this on the higher time frames. We'll still regard this as, after this move, probably this is a completed move to this point, which is a three-wave movement, A, B, C, to complete one move, which could be an A, and we now have this, and a new movement here, and we are seeing this correction. But looking at this one now, from what we can see here, the best to do, yeah, I think it's becoming clearer here. The best to do is to go for the low, here. So going for the low here, something is now going for the low here. So let me take this one out. Let me clone this. Going for the low here, it's looking more like the price is done. It's looking more like the price is done, that these might just be a correction, the old correction of the movement from here down here, and we're now seeing this as a correction. Is possible. This may just be a wave A or one, or A, and this is a B, and I'm going to see a C to the downside. It may be that. So because nothing is really, we are looking at it from different perspective now. From different perspective now. So if I pushed it, this one to the upside, just to mark that level there. Let me mark that level there. Let me use a blue. To mark this level here, that height. So if I mark that height there, and what the price movement had been so far from this top here, down here, to this, where the price is presently is, that's about that is over 50. So that could be well within wave 2 of this entire run from here down to this one. If we pick this and say this is like a wave 1 or A, this cannot be a B, then we are moving down to do a C. But again, we are seeing like this correction is completely done, and the wave had broken below it now here. So with this that I'm looking at now, so we can see that also in the middle, this could be like A and a B and a C of a correction of a 2 that we say this one cannot be a 2. Instead, if we are going to do away with this one as A here, B here, and a C here. Another thing is to look at this as the entire movement here as an A, and this is a 2, and a 2 here had gone up like a zigzag, and now we are coming down. So that's another way we can look. So in case if the momentum favors we coming to the downside, that means this will not break the top again. If this should break the top, then we should consider this as an A, B, and a C, and the price should not go beyond here. So if price should move beyond here, then nothing is on the table. So we probably will not be coming down for now. We'll be going more up. So these areas are the areas of decision for us. These are the areas to So these are the area from here that we need to watch. These are the area we need to watch to make decisions. We need to make decisions in this area to know what exactly we want to do. So it's a very close area that we need to know. You don't want to sell, you don't want to buy. For now, you need to see what is going to happen. So if we get you know, a sell setup from at the edge here, we may sell. But I want us to see something here. Now, after this movement here, we saw a correction here. This is the correction that I'm referring to. Let me try and get it out so that you understand the correction that I'm referring to. This is a correction here. And let me go beyond it. So that is the correction I want us to see. That correction from here. The first part of the correction is from that place to this place. Then to this place. So we want to see what kind of correction that this is. So this looks like an extended flat. If we connect from here to here, and from here to here. That's an extended flat that we saw here. This is an extended flat. So for this extended flat, this is A. The first movement to the downside here is A. Then we can see a B. Then a C. That's an extended flat in that middle. A C. A C. So that's the move in the middle. If you want to see this well, let me go inside 1 hour for us to see it more closely. Now, this is it here. So that's a bit of, I'm going to shift this a bit down. Good. This is okay, this is okay. And this is going to go a bit down. Just to touch the red. Good. So still going to go a bit down, more down, just a bit for pinpoint measurement. Okay, something like that. Good. So now, price did correction here. You know, to the downside, this is an A move. The A move here, then what kind of movement do we have against a B? So for us to get a B, that's like it went past A. So that is about 1 point, can you see? Exactly 161.8. So 161.8 B being 161.8, once is not more than 161.8, it still fall under an extended flat. So, which means that we should expect a return here to be 123 for an extended flat. So that means from origin of B to the end of B, extension downward will be 123. So let's look at it. So if you do that, so this B, can you see exactly at 123? So we saw that reaction at 123. So that makes this in the middle an extended flat, A, B, and a C, and price went up and touched this resistance here within the channel. So now, one would have expected that because this one is a 5 wave and a flat, and extended flat in the middle, this should be also like an 100 at least, or 123. So if it's going to be a zigzag, so A here, and the old structure here, a B to this side, and a C here. So now in an extended flat, we expect at least an 100. So let's see. To this point here, sorry, we're going to come to this point now, which is B, which is the height of it now, B. Then we're going to come down to the low of C of the extended flat. So when you see this now, this is at 100 here, and they made it past 100 like a manipulation here, but it didn't break 123. So you expect it at least in a zigzag to be between 100 and 123, which still qualifies for it. It doesn't have to touch 123. It may break beyond. So when you are waiting, probably you want to wait at 100 to peak and expect this to happen. So it's still an extended flat, and it's still a zigzag here, A, a B, and a C. So it's a zigzag correction in the middle. So after that correction, we are seeing something like looks like as if we're now seeing a 5-wave structure to the downside, where this one is an 1, 2, and a 3. So okay, let me extend this one. On the 1 hour, that's the way it looks, so that you will see. This one is like a 1, and a 2. So as finished in here, you might not see it. Let me expand. For this new leg that is coming down, that we think it's a new wave to the downside, this from here down to this side marks the first leg of wave 1 and A and a B and a C. And after this correction, we are seeing wave 2. And within wave 2 ran down to do a 4th and a 5th here. This is a 4th of that wave 3 here, and you know, a 5 and a 4 in relation to this wave here, a 4 and a 5. Now, so what we are seeing here may be a correction. This we have finished the whole of wave 1, and we are seeing a wave 2 here, most likely. So if I go back to here now on the 4 hour, so which will not give us a shout here. So we might be seeing that the whole of this wave now coming to this point is like a wave 1 of a new wave. But what will now make this one to be that, oh, we are not going to break above, and it's really a new wave of 1, and we are seeing a 2 to the upside, to see a 3 to the downside that will break this structure here now is this. So let's begin to use black or another color now. This is the low here. If I may use purple. Yes, this is the low here. This is the summit here. what we have done is to do a top to bottom analysis, because you start from the higher time frame to see the picture first, to know which side of the trade we are. Otherwise, you just be, you'll be afraid for nothing. So now with this, we know the bottom, the top of this wave. So, and what we want to see now is we don't want to go beyond 85 at least. It would be nice for you to pitch your tent here at 76 and watch for reaction if you're going to get reaction around that area. This is 70. This is 76. So that is where we expect reaction. And we don't want to go beyond a 90. Let me use a red for that. A 90 is at this level. So we don't want to go beyond a 90, which is at that level. So we don't want to go beyond that level. It's 76 and 90. So once we take 90 above, then you should know that we're going to break above this particular wave, and it's not what we think. But so far, the way it came down in a 5-wave structure, and this one is going like a correction. So this looks more like a correction. So because it's a correction, we should be waiting for price action at this edge, where it actually coincides with, probably we might be getting another resistance around this area of 76, and price will be falling from there. Now, so far, we can see something that looks like A and a B, and probably we're going to get a C within this structure itself. So let's look inside the 1 hour. I'm taking a piece mean and probably doing a detailed analysis today. So we had seen that this price had gone up to this level, and we had seen this move. And are we going to get that? Ultimately, we know we're still coming to the downside. Ultimately, we want to still come to the downside. We saw a bearish move from this point here. So that's the point we saw a bearish move. And so this may just be a wave 1 within that correction on that time frame, and a wave 2. So if we look at that, what did we get within that space of correction? So we got something like exactly 76, which looks more like a wave 2. So we should be expecting a zigzag at least between 100 and 123 to the upside to come down. So if we plot that, in case you want to sell, if you plot that, so 100 will be here. But mark you, this wave is still premature. So just based on what he has given us, it doesn't mean that it's completed itself is low of A and B, but just within what it looks like, this is 100, which is almost there, and a 123 is really at this edge. Let me shorten this. So a 123 is here. So based on the wave that we have so far, we are expecting that we will most likely get a move to the downside within this space, if it's going to work like that, within that space to the downside, on that time frame. So this will be an A and a B and a C. So if you go back to the 4-hour time frame, so going back to the 4-hour time frame, this is what it's looking like now on the 4-hour time frame. So we say this is like A and a B, and we might be seeing a C, and movement to the downside from here, then we might be coming further downside. So these waves here and what is we are seeing still looks more like incomplete. And because if you look at it entirely, we said that 76 is here, and the calculation so far had put it below this level. And that is why you have to wait for wave at times to, quickly burn itself out before you. So it's at 76 here, and this is 61 here. So let's see if we're going to get a reaction between here and here. I think this is from here to here, this is where we should expect a reaction. So this thing should not break beyond 66, 1.06650. That is what we are saying. So, but the odds still favor, the sell. You might be seeing for that drop, for that drop. Now, what am I saying in a nutshell? Let me go back to, in a nutshell, what am I saying in a nutshell? Because we are seeing lots of momentum now, a divergence has been occurring here. I fine-tuned this on the lower time frame to really push the hedge a bit up. And so that is what we are seeing. What we are trying to say now is that it's either the price come down, take this level before we see a bigger correction inside of this whole correction. So it's looking like that is what we might be getting. We might be seeing a price action around this area for a fall to take this low. And after we are done with this low, price may now do a bigger correction to now make the whole entire move from here to here. And A, probably we can now say in the black, because we are saying within this itself, A, B, and a C. So this might just be entirely an A move to this point, and a B before we now do a long leg of C. And after we finish that long leg of C, we might be breaking up again to now take up this entire structure, which is A and a B and a C. So that is what we are looking at. That is, futuristic move. But in the meantime, what we are saying is that this may just take this place, come down to make this low, and before we see a bigger correction out of this correction. So, and if we get a bigger correction out of this correction, we will now see how we go up if we are going to break up or just get to the limit of what B should give us, and we see more down. Then another thing that is possible is that if this price begins to go and take this structure of 1.07500 above, that means it's most likely has started its own bigger correction from here, and we may now see more down if the limit of B wave is not taken. So this might just be the end of A, might just be A, B, and a C instead of pushing A, C to the downside. So before we see it, so you must know about all this permutation and what could happen. But for now, what we are calling, based on what we are seeing in terms of the structure, the weekly time frame structure, the lower time, the daily and the 4-hour time frame structure, and even 1-hour time frame structure still favors that we may just go up Sunday night, which is this night, a bit up by Monday, we might be seeing a fall, a fall that will break the previous low, including this low here, and we may be going down maybe for another 1 week or two, before we start that bigger correction to the upside within this correction. So, or to the end of this month. So let's wait and see. I hope I've not confused you. It's a whole lot of information, but you need to know what wave theory and structure is all about before, otherwise you get confused with all that I've said. All right. Do have a lovely week.